Okay, good morning. I got the gauge cluster off of the dash, and I'm going to open up some of these components in the back. Now, what you're going to have to do is probably pull off each one of these bulbs. Just give it a quarter screw. I've already done mine, and I've checked all my bulbs and everything. You can ohm them out and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing you might want to look at is right here. I took some really fine paper and I cleaned up these contacts, so when the shoe goes back in, it's going to make great contact. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the two light bulbs for the gas gauge, and it's going to be a series of 3 screws. Okay, and then you're going to need to loosen up these 2 nuts. And this is your sending unit to your gas needle. Loosen these 2 guys up. And there's 2 washers on there. Make sure you don't lose those. And there's another little flat washer. And again, I'm going to get one of my special cups that my wife bought for me. And I'm going to put just these parts in there, so I try to keep everything separated. Because some of these things, you just get them goofed up and you don't know what's what. Okay, so now that we have that off, here's your cellophane. Now you can lift, you should be able to lift that straight on out of there now. Okay, and there's that. Now I had some issues with this before, and I can tell you what I did. When I was cleaning this off, my shop rag caught this needle and pulled it. And not only did it pull this one, it pulled the speedo needle as well. But I was able to put them back in. So let me take the clock out real quick. And I did repair that. Got the clock working, although these clocks are only good for about a year, if you're familiar with these at all. But it's really slick, the ingenuity they have on these, and I'll point them out to you in a second when I get it out of here. There's 3. And there's that. 2, 3. Lift up the cellophane and he's ready to come on out. And this is the clock. Now I don't want to necessarily take this apart if I can help it. But what mine was inside of here, what mine ended up being was, it was just a lot of dirt and gunk. Because if you look inside of there, you know, stuff can get in there. I mean, it's just not sealed very well at all. So what had happened was it just got dirty. So I took and blew it all out. And I took some light sewing machine oil, put it on there, and I hooked it up to a 12-volt bench power source that I have here. Let it run overnight, and it ran well. So what it has is it's like a set of points, and it goes around and the points, and it stops when those points contact. A solenoid kicks off and kicks it around, and then it'll run for like 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and then when the points meet, it kicks that solenoid off again. Well, one of the wires on the solenoid was broken off, so I fixed that solenoid wire, and now it's kicking off at the points. I don't know if you ever remember sitting in your dad's car when you were a little kid, and every once in a while you hear this little click, click, you know, every 40 seconds or 50 seconds or so, click in the dash. It's this guy, that's what it was. So, lessons learned on that. So we got that out. Now, the other thing I did want to show you, what I did wrong on here, and my shop rag also caught this needle as well and bent it up. So I bent 2 needles trying to fix this daggone thing. But let me show you the inside of this guy. There's 2 screws to take the emblem off. You just be very ginger with it. Okay, get that. Very ginger. And I'll tell you what I did wrong with this, and a lot of people do it. And I did not know this. I did not know it. And again, lessons learned. All right, so there's the plate. And what I did is I took a lot of these and I taped them down because they were just poking out. So I taped them down so they fit the facial really good. So I'm going to set them aside. Now, if you look inside, you'll see here's the mechanism. This right here, and this is the needle and the speedo. And there is a trick to getting this all to zeros, and I'll show you that in another video just on that. But I wanted to point out this was not what I did wrong. Is that on the back side of here, right in there, I'll put a couple drops of oil. I figure, hey, that's not going to hurt. You know, a little WD is good for anything. Wrong. After I did that, it didn't work anymore. And what I mean by that is that the needle kind of stayed up around 20 miles an hour, and it would never go back to zero. So I called a guy, a speedo shop, and he goes, oh, let me guess, you put some oil in there. I said, yeah, how'd you know? Well, it's a common problem. And what happens is oil gets down inside of this shoe, and it throws the magnet off. And it's really not hard to fix, and he was going to start fix 250 was minimum start on this. And so I said, well, I'm going to try and clean it myself, and I did. So hang on for the next video, and I'll show you how to work on the speed bucket. Thanks, and that's how you take your dash apart. Thank you.